Hey, this is Evan with Simple South Central Florida. We're back again this month for our October Q&A, just covering questions that we commonly hear with clients that we work with throughout Central Florida. Um, Simple South Central Florida is a distressed home buyer. Distressed homes typically means foreclosures, legal issues, excessive repairs, properties that need to be sold very, very quickly for whatever reason. That really defines distressed, the residential distressed industry. We work in places like Orlando, Tampa, Titusville, Melbourne, so Orange County, Hillsborough, Brevard, Pinellas, Osceola, Seminole counties, Volusia, many counties throughout Central Florida. We're also looking at the Gainesville area to start buying properties there as well. Yeah, so we will get started with the questions. So the first one, I got stuck in a contract with another company and now they're offering me way less than before. What can I do? So this is a pretty common thing in the industry. A company will offer you what you're asking for the property, whatever it may be. Let's say it's $100,000, and they'll get you into the contract. They'll move forward, um, and may make you feel comfortable that the transaction is going to close. And at some point before closing, in some cases, a day or days before closing, they will request reductions or what they call credits. And they'll say, oh, because of, the roof, I didn't know the roof was that way or whatever. They'll request a credit. Those credits can be anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 to $20,000. And you're, as a seller, emotionally into the process and financially into the process, possibly trying to plan your life out at this point. And a lot of times those types of tactics can work because someone is so dedicated to closing, and they want to move on with their life and just get rid of this distressed property, this stressful situation. So in that situation, what you can do, hopefully first off, you have a deposit down. The buyer has a deposit down, so you should have right to that deposit. If they're trying to offer you less and they're not wanting to close, you should have right to that deposit. You should also, contact the title company and tell them that this transaction is not going to happen because they're changing the offer price, and tell them that you're wanting to cancel the contract. Because in this situation, if you're telling the buyer you don't want to close now, things could get pretty hostile. So I would just contact the title company directly, and possibly, if need be, get a lawyer. That would then call the buyer and call the title company and show them that you're serious, that you're not taking less for your property than what you had agreed to, that what you had went through an inspection period and everything had checked out, and now you're wanting to change an offer, your offer price, for reasons that should have been mentioned during the inspection period. So at that point, it can become a legal issue, and they can threaten to put liens on your property, or what they call memorandums. But you're in the right, you're not in the wrong. The buyer may try to make you feel like you're in the wrong, but you're not. It isn't your fault. It's just a tactic that companies in this industry use, and they do it on purpose, unfortunately. Okay, so the next question. The foreclosure moratorium is the only thing keeping me in my home. What can I do when it's over and I'm still behind on payments? So the moratorium ended for a small percentage of people that have private mortgages on their properties. I haven't personally talked with any of those people at this point to see how those foreclosures are coming along, or if any foreclosures have been filed. I personally don't know any sellers or have had any clients like that at this point. But you know, um, it really depends on your situation and how much you owe on the property. Let's say, to keep simple numbers, let's say the property is worth $100,000 and you owe, um, $100,000, and you're going to walk away with nothing. And depending upon your situation, um, you know, it can be very situation oriented. But in that situation, if you're just wanting to get out and someone's offering you the money to get out, it seems like a logical conclusion, if you're already in foreclosure, to go ahead and take that offer. But also, there are options outside of that. You can try to renegotiate with the bank. Those processes can be difficult, but it's possible that they would negotiate with you to see if you could get a lower payment, or if they could give you an extension of 60, 90 days. But you can start those dialogues, because if you really need to stay in that home for whatever reason, um, there are other options than just selling. But if you're just trying to get out of it, and you can get out of the foreclosure without it hurting your credit, you can. That may be your best option, but it really just depends. It's also possible, not to get too complicated, but it is possible for you to have someone take over your mortgage, and make the payments, and they take possession of the property. They make your payments for you. You move on with your life, assuming you don't want to buy another property with a mortgage. They'll clear up the foreclosure and continue making the payments. So in those situations, a lot of times investors will just pay the mortgage payment, and then they'll rent out the property to a renter, and then just make your mortgage payment, pay down the mortgage over time, over 5, 10, 20 years, whatever. And eventually that mortgage will get paid off, and you can move on with your life without having to worry about that mortgage anymore, because the person or investor that took over the mortgage does have an obligation to continue paying that. I think I answered that one pretty well, but it's a situation by situation basis. So if you wanted more information, just reach out on the website, simplesalecentralflorida.com, and we would evaluate your situation and then really understand what you're working with, because the principal owed, how far behind you are on payments, things of that nature really matters. Also, you could consult with a lawyer. That's another option that would really understand your situation and point you in the right direction. Will my house be worth more if I take care of the legal issues myself? Most definitely, absolutely. The legal issues on a property can mean big differences in what it's worth, because if you have a title on a property that's what they call like a broken chain of title, the house essentially can't be sold. And if it is sold, then it's really the person that's buying it from you isn't actually taking full interest in the property. They're probably buying some less than 100% interest in the property and they don't even know it. So absolutely, if you take care of those legal issues or like a probate, if you take care of those yourself, the property will most likely be worth more. Um, in our experience, legal issues can range anywhere from as simple as $300 to, we have one property right now that we've been working on since May of 2019, and it's closer to $10,000 in legal bills at this point. And we're not finished, but we should be finished this month or next month. So 300 all the way up to 10,000 plus in legal in legal bills. But if you have the money to lay that out and you have a lawyer that you trust, it will most definitely increase the value of your property by more than what you pay. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But it's all about having the legal team there that you trust, and they're not going to just take your money and not get the legal issue resolved. And then also having the money and the patience to be able to deal with it, because legal issues can take anywhere from a few days to a years. Like the one we're working on right now, I think we've been filed in the courts for like 10 months or something like that. So it can take a long time. Next question. Is there any way I can sell my distressed home using a realtor? Yes, you can. So it is possible. Typically the issue that comes with that is realtors or agents have a hard time understanding the situations because they aren't investors. So they may actually try to sell your property for less than what it's worth. They may way overprice it. They may give you advice on that specific situation that isn't necessarily accurate. And I'm not saying like they're lying to you or they're purposely lying to you or they're uninformed, because all realtors are very well informed, and most all agents are very well informed. It's just they haven't seen those types of things before, like a legal issue, and maybe pointing you in directions that aren't the most efficient. But that's not always the case. So you can totally sell your distressed home that way. It's just I would try to find someone that maybe is an agent and an investor, so they can deal with those issues. They know those issues, and they can clear up those issues and then put it on the open market, like a MLS. So you get the money. So you get the money you deserve for the property. Next question. Should I shop around when I'm looking to sell my home? Absolutely. For anyone that reaches out to us and asks us questions about, are there other people that do this, or are there other companies, or I'm actively looking at other companies, we highly recommend you talk to other companies, get to know them, get to know their process, get to know what their their goals are, what their mission is, with working with their clients. Because you having more than one point of reference on the home buyer industry, I think will give you a good idea of what companies do very well in serving their clients, and what companies don't. I think it will become apparent very quickly what companies really care about their clients, and then what companies are just saying or doing anything to get you into a contract and then try to manipulate you. So in order for them to have personal gain. So unfortunately, it's part of the industry, but you should always look at more than one company, because it'll give you a point of reference on which company is the best and which one you should work with. Next question: how does selling my house a simple sell work? So what we call the Three simple steps is you get an estimate on your property. Typically, after discussing the estimate via phone, we will come view the property, confirm the estimate, which is step two, doing a walkthrough. And then step three is making you an official offer on the property, typically same day, and possibly in person, making you that offer, and then moving forward with the contract. So, to reiterate, giving you an estimate on your property via phone, just looking at your property online, and then moving forward to step number two, a walkthrough of the property to confirm the estimate. And then step number three would be getting an offer on your property. In some situations, we would give you an estimate and then confirm our offer without a walkthrough. But in most situations, we would do a walkthrough of the property to confirm the offer. So next question. How much work is it for me to sell you my home? So we get this question a lot, and if you look at some of our reviews, you'll see comments on how little time they had to spend on the actual process, because we tried to make it as simple as possible. We really want you to do as little as possible, and we handle all the steps, all the processes that come with clearing title, and working with the title companies and conveying the title, and whatever it may be. And we absolutely do not charge fees for giving you an estimate or an offer. No fees for a walkthrough, nothing. We absolutely do not charge fees for anything like that. So to really fully answer the question, we try to make it as little work as possible. There shouldn't be much more than a few conversations on the phone, a walkthrough, and then signing a contract and signing a deed on the closing day. There really shouldn't be much more than that. If there is any more than that, then it may be because there's legal issues, but we would handle most all of those and just be explaining to you what's going on as we're handling those situations. Okay, next question. Are there any good resources to find more information on distressed homes? So I think really we do have, I know as a company, we do have a lot of information on our website, simplesalescentralflorida.com. At this point, we have a lot of articles written that explains what's a distressed home, what does a distressed home look like, what are tax liens, how to deal with tax liens, how to sell your house with tax liens, what to do with a property with excessive repairs, all kinds of articles, selling your house as is, all those types of articles that helps explain how the process works and how you can do it yourself without working with someone like Simple Sales Central Florida or any other home buyer. So that's one option. Obviously, just going to Google and Googling for more information about, if you have a tax lien on your property, Googling about what people do when they have a tax lien on their property. I know one good website for really deep information like that is biggerpockets.com, which it's mostly real estate investors, but there are sellers on there that are looking to inform themselves on things that are going on with their property, and there's investors on there that will give you information. There's a lot of articles written and a lot of people's opinions on certain aspects of distressed home sale. So that would really be a great reference, but more than likely, you just Google and try to find a reputable source, such as our website or biggerbox.com, or possibly an attorney's website that has information written. That those three would be good references, but there isn't any one source in particular that I would recommend. There isn't like a Wikipedia of sorts for this type of thing. I think that is it for today, for our Q&A. If there are any other questions, you can put them in the comments now. I don't see any. If there aren't any questions that comes up in the next few seconds, we're going to go ahead and conclude here. But just to reiterate, we are Simple Sales Central Florida. We buy distressed properties throughout Central Florida. Our main goal is to bring transparency and accountability to distressed home sales. That really means that we're accountable for what we do. We're very transparent about the process, and we try to work with our clients to give them the best experience possible in a lot of times a situation that's very stressful. So that's our goal, and that's what we strive to do. Anytime, give us a call, 407-338-4183, or you can visit our website, simplesalescentralflorida.com, and we will definitely, typically we get back to you within a couple minutes, 5 minutes from filling out the form, and we'll love to answer any questions you have about your property. If that is it, thank you all for viewing, and we will be back next month with another Q&A. Thank you.